All right, let's talk about the big one. For any artist, getting on a major Spotify editorial playlist, well, it's kind of the dream, right? But what if I told you that pretty much everything you think you know about how it works is, well, just plain wrong? Today, we are pulling back the curtain and getting into the real story.
I mean, this just says it all, doesn't it? We all have that fantasy of our song landing on something massive like today's top hits. And look, that dream is totally achievable, but the road to get there, it's probably not the one you've been told about.
And that right there is the million-dollar question. Because it's not really about getting lucky. And spoiler alert, it's not about who you know either. It's about understanding the game, speaking Spotify's language, and building a case that proves your song deserves to be there. So let's break that down.
Okay, so first things first, we have to bust some of the biggest myths that are holding artists back. This is all about separating the old-school industry talk from the hard facts of how Spotify actually works today.
This is the single biggest mindset shift you need to make. See, the old music biz ran on connections, on handshakes. But Spotify, it's a tech company at its core, and that means its editors are guided by data. A human will make the final call, but only after your song has already passed the algorithm's data-driven vibe check.
Yeah, so many of us think that when we hit submit on our pitch, it goes straight into an editor's headphones. The truth is, pitching is absolutely crucial, but its main job is to get your song into the right bucket. You're telling the system, hey, this is an indie pop track, it's got an upbeat mood, and it's perfect for a weekend hangouts playlist. You're basically feeding the machine the info it needs.
So if data is what really matters, then our whole strategy has to change. It's not about begging for a listen anymore. It's about generating the right kind of data, the kind that makes the algorithm sit up and take notice. You've got to impress the machine before you even get a shot at impressing a person. And this is why data is so important. Your pitch isn't one of a few hundred they get. No. It's one of tens of thousands of songs submitted every single day. There's just no way for humans to listen to all of that. Data is the only filter that works at that scale. So the real question becomes, how do you make your data stand out?
And here it is. This is the big one, the save rate. Think about it. A stream can be passive. You might be doing something else. But a save, that's an active choice. That's a listener saying, whoa, I love this. I need to hear this again. This is part of my collection now. That is the loudest signal of real, genuine love you can possibly send to Spotify.
And here's the number to tattoo on your brain. A save rate between 35 and 50% is a massive green flag. If a third to even half of the people streaming your track are hitting that save button, you're basically screaming at the algorithm that this song has it. It's got that magic.
This chart just lays it out so clearly. We have to stop obsessing over raw stream counts. That's a vanity metric. Spotify's looking at much deeper stuff. Are people saving it? Are they putting it on repeat? And are they actually finishing the song? Or are they skipping it 30 seconds in? These are the things that show true fandom, not just a bunch of passive plays.
Okay, so you know what data matters now. But when does it matter most? Well, the second your song goes live, a clock starts ticking. You've got a 7-day audition, and everything you do in that window is being watched.
The first 48 hours are just critical. That's where you set the tone. Then, for that whole first week, the algorithm is tracking every single interaction. Who's saving it, who's repeating it, and, this is a big one, is your song starting to get added to playlists made by actual fans? That's the organic proof that something is happening.
And on the flip side, this is where it all goes wrong for most artists. A high skip rate, that's the kiss of death. Weak numbers on day one tells the algorithm nobody was really waiting for this. And if there's no buzz anywhere else, like on TikTok or Instagram, it suggests the song isn't really connecting with people out in the world. This is basically your what not to do list.
So this brings us to the strategy that editors actually want to see. It's not about that one-day viral explosion that fizzles out. It's about showing steady, organic growth. It's about playing the long game.
These 4 things, this is your recipe for success. Releasing new music every month or two shows you're a serious, working artist. That strong early engagement proves you've got a real fan base. Getting added to indie playlists shows the song has a life of its own. And that external buzz proves your music is part of the culture. You're building a story, piece by piece, that an editor can't ignore.
And you have to understand this, because it's all about managing your expectations. Getting playlisted almost never happens on day one. It's a process. First, if your data is good, you might pop up on algorithmic playlists like Discover Weekly.
It's only after a few weeks of seeing that growth continue that an editor might say, okay, let's test this out in a smaller playlist and see what happens.
Which brings us to what might be the most important mindset shift of all. This is a total rethink of what a playlist is even for, and it changes absolutely everything about your release strategy.
So this right here, this is your playbook. It's not about one magic trick. It's about doing all of these things consistently. You have to build the hype, drive that deep engagement with your core fans, and basically prove to Spotify that there's a real fire starting around your music.
And this is the sentence you need to remember. This is the entire ballgame. You can't just release a song into the void and hope a playlist will make it a hit. You have to create the start of a hit all on your own. You bring the spark, you bring the heat, you build the fire. The playlist, that's just the gasoline they pour on it once it's already burning.
So let's just leave it with this final thought. Stop thinking about playlisting like it's some kind of lottery you're hoping to win. Start thinking of it as a reward you can actually earn. The question isn't about luck anymore. It's about strategy, it's about consistency, and it's about building something that your fans truly, deeply love. Because that's the kind of data that Spotify simply cannot ignore.